financial literacy in Nigeria. This topic is something that's not very well spoken of in Nigeria, I guess, because most of the people that are, being successful at this time, it's there's a lot of first time millionaires, if you may, first time successful people. So there's not a lot of background on how to, or people to get the advice on how to keep your wealth. But one person has stood out recently, in my opinion, who is in the person of Alibaba. He's a comedian. He was recently sharing his thoughts about financial literacy, pretty much. I mean, he didn't target that, but pretty much he was talking about financial literacy. And I thought it was interesting. Before I keep talking, I'm just gonna play the video and then we go from there, and then I'll share my thoughts on this. All right. It's on Instagram, and I'll share my screen real quick. All right, here we are.
He went to play in Dubai. They paid him nearly 400 million. He went to play in another international sports event, paid him about 500. The next thing has a Maybach. Next thing he has another car, and then goes on its spree with jewelry and all of that. And in less than 2 to 6 months, he's done about like 1.5 billion. And it was time for him to get married, and he had to use the hall. But if he built the hall, he wouldn't have needed to spend the money for the hall. He would have bought land and done an event center and put a powerful studio upstairs. People will come there and shoot. The venue can then even bring money enough for him to buy anything he wants to buy. When you want to invest in real estate, don't be thinking about sleeping area alone. Develop it and give it a theme. There are resorts that you go to. I went and paid 400 to see Gorilla in Rwanda. Gorilla did not even want to see me. That's where real estate should go to. The real estate should go to a place where you provide something for specific people. Real estate with recreation center is a resort. Real estate with shops, a shopping mall. Real estate with... Told the musician, very top musician, he went...
All right, it's a very short video anyway. But he said this, and I've not seen a lot of successful people in Nigeria come and give these like specific ideas on how to be successful, or where to put your money, right? I don't know, but I thought this was very smart of him, like thinking out of the typical real estate ventures in Nigeria, if you may, because most real estate ventures in Nigeria, people always want to think about it like houses or rental properties where people can rent, or building houses where people can come by. That's pretty much the mindset for most people, right? But he, on the other hand, is thinking about other avenues where you can invest this money. For instance, he said some like a resort, where people can come just spend time, sightsee and all that good stuff, right? And he said a shopping mall and some other things he talked about as well. I think that's interesting. But here's the thing, right? I've read the comment section and I've seen people saying, "Oh, I wonder why people just won't mind their business and stop pocket watching, pretty much, looking at other people's finances," right? Yeah, I understand that perspective as well. However, the problem is these people, when they spend this type of money like this, the money doesn't keep coming like that. Especially being an artist, right? And Alibaba here was referring to an artist, like a gospel musician, right? Especially being a musician, an artist, you always have a peak. Maybe that's your peak. Maybe the peak is when you hit that 1 point whatever billion naira, and you would never in your life hit that amount of money again in that short period of time. Excuse me. Excuse me. Maybe you would, over a long period of time, but in a short period of time, you probably won't, as an artist. It's just what it is. There's a period where you're going to be there's a period where you're going to be popping, right? Everybody wants to hear what you say and all that good stuff. Granted, you take advantage of that, make all the money you can, and invest it smartly. But now people are saying in the comment section, "Oh, why are you looking at other people's income and bothered about what other people are doing with their money?" That's not necessarily the problem. The problem is people get broke. People who are, this is the first time, you're making money, you're buying a Maybach, you're buying a Bentley, you're buying this, you're buying that. These things break, especially in Nigeria, right? You bring these things back home. Obviously, they're not manufactured in Nigeria, right? There are no repair shops that can even repair these things and maintain them, so their value drops drastically. I mean, cars in general, they once you leave the dealership, the value has depleted, right? That's in general. But when you take it to Nigeria, the value even drops even further. You see what I'm saying, right? So the point is not about pocket watching or putting your eyes in some other person's income. The problem is these people probably actually do not even know how to like invest money and spend their money and look out for their futures, right? I've seen so many cases where they'll be like, oh, do you know this guy? He's the person that sang this song. And then now you want people to start doing GoFundMe for you, right? But in that period when you're buying your Bentleys and your Maybachs and all that fun stuff, you didn't think about this time, right? That's why this serves as a caution, not necessarily like he's putting his eyes in your finance. He doesn't care about your money, obviously. Alibaba is a very renowned comedian in Nigeria. He's made a ton of money in the business, right? So he doesn't necessarily need anything from anybody, right? But he's just giving advice. Just to be cautious, that there's gonna be a time when this money will not be as much as you see it right now. And what are you going to do? And at that point, you put yourself to this specific type of lifestyle, right? And now you can't, going back down to a lower lifestyle would be a problem. Hey, let me tell you something, right? Over 90% of NBA athletes, they go broke within 2 years of leaving the NBA. This is a fact. I'm not making this up. And these guys make tons and tons and tons of money. They make millions and millions and millions of dollars. The thing is, or the fact is, most people do not know how to manage money. It's a fact. It's a fact. And for most people still, when you try to call them to order, they're like, don't worry about it. Being an athlete is even worse, because your career could be cut short so fast. Like, you could get an ankle injury and then boom, your career is over. you know it also applies to musicians and artists and all that good stuff. It also applies to them. There's always going to be another gospel musician. There's always going to be another rapper. There's always going to be another top musician wherever, right? Your time is going to come and it's going to go. It's just a fact. It's just a given. And there's really nothing you can do about it, right? People move on so fast. They say the attention span of most people is what, 30 seconds, right? So you can imagine. So people move on from things really fast, especially in this time and day in 2024, right? But anyway, this is my opinion. I'm just going to head to the comment section, just like I do, right? Let's read some of the comments here and then we'll head to the next story. But for now, let's check out the comment section real quick. All right. So here, financial management should be a compulsory course. Absolutely. I totally agree. The lady is a listener, not interrupting like other podcasters. Okay. Arrogance in this comment section is the reason they use her girls. Okay, we're not talking about that now. Go ahead and mention his name. Davido Africa. Okay. 30 billion gang people are in the comment. Okay. Let people use their money to do whatever they like. True. I agree with you. But the thing is, when that money dries up, don't come asking for people to do a GoFundMe for you. That's just the thing, right? If nobody Davido was for a reason, OBO people are here. Smart talk. His advice isn't even centered on shaming, but it's based on educating. Get informed. Financial literacy is a thing that's not well spoken of in Nigeria, right? It's something that is not spoken of in Nigeria. I'm just thinking, which celebrity gets Maybach and just got married? All right. I don't know. I don't know who the person is. I don't necessarily care to know either. Are you all aware that this advice is not for the person he's talking about, but others, for people who value to invest than material things? That's what this show is all about. Just have small sense. Okay. I thought he wanted to say when he wanted to get married, he came to beg him for money. He should have started catering company. Nah, people always don't get it. Someone saying facts and y'all insulting him, it's just a way of teaching others. David may not do it, but others can learn from this knowledge. Investment is key. Absolutely. Lol, if you know investments, where you get you shock. Only Mattel alone, per annum income, aside endorsements, gone. I don't know if he's referring to Davido, right? These things they don't teach you in a school because they want you in a systematic. Okay, if everyone now builds a hall, who will rent it? His money is choice. Okay, true. Everybody has an opinion, right? Um, all right. I think that's it for now. On this